everyone, my name is Jessica Fernando, and this is my reflection video on deception. So to start off, the definition of deception would be a statement that someone says that is not true and is false and is therefore a lie. Some of the motives behind deception would be the individual may want to conceal the truth, or they may just want to create a false statement. And in the Knapp and Vangelusty article that we had to read, there were a few examples that demonstrated these motives, and one of the examples was if a doctor downplays an illness to give the patient some hope that he or she will survive. This would be deception in the form of hiding the truth so that the patient doesn't get scared. And in another scenario that was described in the Knapp and Vangelusty article, if a teacher lies to a student about how his or her future will be successful, even though the teacher knows that the student is not going to do very well, that would be an example of the motive of developing a statement or an idea that is false, because the teacher is giving the student a false statement or a lie, even though the teacher does know the truth about the student. So those are the different types of motives that would cause someone to fall into deception or follow deception. Some interesting things I learned about deception from this unit would be, as I was reading the Knapp and Vangelusty article, I learned about how lying itself depends on a lot of characteristics, which are the type of mutual influence in a close relationship and how close the individuals are, and also how familiar the individuals are with each other's behavior. I thought this was really interesting because I never thought of lying as something so complex that could be built and developed by so many different characteristics. So that's why I thought that was a really interesting idea. And another thing that I learned that I found really interesting was from page 290 in our class text. I read about how liars experience nervous mannerisms when they lie, and this behavior is also displayed in truth tellers as well. So some examples of these nervous mannerisms may be swallowing frequently or sweating. I thought this was really interesting and kind of surprising because I thought people telling the truth would exhibit more confidence and less nervousness in comparison to liars, but from this unit I learned that both a liar and someone telling the truth can experience similar behavior. And for the second prompt, describe a lie that was told to you. This is a scenario that happened a really long time ago, but I somehow still remember all the details about it. So the lie that I will be describing in this video would be a lie that was told to me when I was 9 years old, so I was really little. So I grew up in New York, and one of my closest friends, she lived next door to me, and her name was Sophia, and we were both 9 years old when this occurred. We used to play outside together almost every day. We were really close friends, and I remember during the summer one time, she and her sister came over to my house because they had to give my mom something. And then I asked them if they were going to be outside to play that day, later in the afternoon. And they said yes, and they just left. They said yes and see you soon, and then they left. And then I waited till the afternoon to see if they would be outside so I could go out and join them. And then I waited and time went by and they never showed up. And eventually it became nighttime. And then my mom said they're probably busy with something or they had to go somewhere and they obviously didn't come. And I felt really upset and bored because I was really excited that day to play outside with them in our backyard. Um, so that's the lie that was told. Um, and this type of relationship would be a friendship, a very close friendship, since I used to see them every day and spend time with them every day. Sophia and her sister. Um, so it's not in the context of a romantic relationship, it would just be a friendship. I believe their motives in this case, I think they lied and said yes, they would come outside because they were probably afraid to say no since they thought it would make me feel bad. So I think that's why they just lied and said yes. Um, and then for the third prompt, how did I learn that I was lied to? I eventually found out as the day just went by and I didn't see them outside. I realized that they weren't going to come out anyways. Um, but in the Knapp and Vangelesti article, I feel like the lying detection methods that they described would have worked. I did notice some nonverbal deception behaviors. I still remember when they answered like yes to my question. I realized they were standing a bit far from me and not as close as they usually would when I used to see them on other days. So there was a bit of distancing when we had the conversation. And then in terms of verbal cues, I remember they sort of hesitated when I asked them my question. Um, they took a while to like respond yes, and they kind of responded in a higher pitch. And then for the fourth prompt, how did the lie impact your relationship? Um, it made me feel distanced from them, and I actually felt troubled playing outside with them like the following day because of that lie. I actually began to spend more time by myself inside rather than like in our backyard with them. So we kind of grew closer apart because of that one lie. Something I would have done differently. Um, I would have nicely asked them like why they lied and why they said that they would like come outside when they didn't. I would have asked them nicely. That's something that I would have done differently. Um, I was eventually able to move forward with my relationship because the days just continued to go by and we both eventually forgot about the lie and we just became closer again and we actually began to spend a lot more time together as well. I would invite them to my place for like a birthday party and then they would invite me to their place as well. So eventually that lie began to kind of, I guess, die down and we became closer again. And for the fifth prompt, I actually have never told a lie in this relationship. So that concludes my reflection video. Thank you for watching.